So we're going to be very aggressive on that issue as well as on the geographic preference issue.
Ah, come on. Just let it go, Mr. Sorry about that. I know my time is up. I apologize to my colleagues. One thing I want to say, thank you for your advice and counsel and your work with regards to coal. Coal isn't nearly as cool as some people thought it would be, and the WTO stove is hot.
Under this rule, the Social Security Administration must report to the National Instant Criminal Background Check System anyone who receives benefits for certain disabilities and who the Social Security Administration believes needs a representative payee to help manage these benefits. As a result of being included on this list, many disabled Social Security beneficiaries are barred from lawfully purchasing a firearm, even though there has been no adjudication that the beneficiary is mentally defective.
Repealing this regulation will merely ensure that disabled citizens' Second Amendment rights are, in fact, protected. Those rights will no longer be able to be revoked without a hearing and without due process. It will take more than a personal opinion. Just a personal opinion of a bureaucrat can abridge your Second Amendment rights.
It ought to be opposed because for those who want improved mental health, for those who want background checks, for those who are just saying what we need to do in this area as it relates to gun violence, it's not about Democrats, it's not about Republicans, it's about common sense. The common sense position today for background checks, a focus on mental health, and most importantly, common sense, is to oppose the resolution, and I yield the floor.
Are there any senators wishing to change his or her vote? If not, the ayes are 57, nays are 43. The joint resolution is passed.
Mr. President.
Majority Leader.
I ask unanimous consent the Senate recess from 12:30 until 2 p.m. today.
Are there any senators in the chamber who wish to vote or change their vote? If not, the ayes are 52, the nays are 47. The nomination is confirmed.
Mr. President. Mr. President. Mr. President.
The Leader.
The Senate's not in order.
Be in order. The Senate, please take your conversations off the floor.
The White House still reeling after U.S. President Donald Trump fired his national security advisor after just 28 days on the job, dealt another blow when the man Trump wanted to take the role told him, thanks, but no thanks. Trump on Thursday saying the decision to dismiss former General Michael Flynn was made easier because he had a strong replacement in mind.
And I have somebody that I think will be outstanding for the position. And that also helps, I think, in the making of my decision.
Retired Vice Admiral Robert Harward turning down the offer later that day. Harward is a former Navy SEAL with over 40 years of military experience and is currently a top executive at aerospace and arms manufacturer Lockheed Martin. But sources telling Reuters Harward wanted the freedom to appoint his own team to help him with the job. That put him at odds with Trump, a White House official saying Harward declined because of family and financial considerations. The role of National Security Advisor still vacant after Trump asked Flynn to resign this week. Flynn was embroiled in scandal due to phone calls he made with Russian officials where he discussed sanctions, calls that were intercepted by U.S. intelligence. He appears to have misled Vice President Mike Pence about the subject of the conversations. The Washington Post reporting Thursday Flynn denied discussing sanctions when the FBI investigated the matter. Lying to the FBI is a felony. The decision of whether or not to prosecute Flynn will fall to the Justice Department, now under the sway of longtime Trump ally Jeff Sessions. Harward turning down the offer of National Security Advisor, coming just hours after Trump said,
"This administration is running like a fine-tuned machine."
I, John Michael Mulvaney, do solemnly swear.
I, John Michael Mulvaney, do solemnly swear
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
That I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion,
And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
of the office upon which I am about to enter.
of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
But if Scott Pruitt has his way, it won't just be a day without the EPA. It could be a nation without the EPA. You can pick any industry you want: coal, oil, mining, timber, grazing. You go through, no matter how you spin it on the Republican wheel of giveaways, some industry gets a big giveaway.
Mr. Pruitt also has serious conflicts of interest. And what's amazing to me is he has stonewalled the United States Senate, claiming to us that all of the emails from his agency that should be open. Listen, we went through a whole presidential campaign, all this talk about emails. How ironic is it that we are now putting someone up for the EPA administrator who suddenly is not allowing open public record requests to view his emails?
Well, I think, first of all, the administration and the United States supports a two-state solution. But what we support more is peace and stability. And by bringing the two to the table, to have them talk through this in a fresh way, to say, okay, we're going to go back to the drawing board. What can we agree on? That's what the United States wants. The Security Council just finished its regular monthly meeting on Middle East issues. It's the first meeting like that that I've attended, and I have to say it was a bit strange. The Security Council is supposed to discuss how to maintain international peace and security. But at our meeting on the Middle East, the discussion was not about Hezbollah's illegal buildup of rockets in Lebanon. It was not about the money and weapons Iran provides to terrorists. It was not about how we defeat ISIS. It was not about how we hold Bashar al-Assad accountable for the slaughter of hundreds and thousands of civilians. No, instead the meeting focused on criticizing Israel, the one true democracy in the Middle East. First of all, when it comes to the settlements, we don't think that that is the sole reason that we are not getting peace in this process. What the President has said, and that we agree on, is expanding settlements at this point is not helpful. I'm here to emphasize the United States is determined to stand up to the UN's anti-Israel bias. We will never repeat the terrible mistake of Resolution 2334 and allow one-sided Security Council resolutions to condemn Israel. Instead, we will push for action on the real threats we face in the Middle East. What you're seeing with this administration is you're going to see a lot of action. You're going to see a lot of participation. And yes, we are going to take names. If we see someone that's not doing what they're supposed to, we're going to call them out. That's why we called out Russia. And so we'll continue to do that as we see other issues come up.
We've taken decisive action to keep radical Islamic terrorists out of our country. Though parts of our necessary and constitutional actions were blocked by a judge's, in my opinion, incorrect and unsafe ruling, our administration is working night and day to keep you safe, including reporters safe, and is vigorously defending this lawful order. I will not back down from defending our country. I got elected on defense of our country, and I keep my campaign promises. And our citizens will be very happy when they see the result. They already are, I can tell you that. Extreme vetting will be put in place, and it already is in place in many places. In fact, we had to go quicker than we thought because of the bad decision we received from a circuit that has been overturned at a record number I've heard 80%. I find that hard to believe. That's just a number I heard, that they're overturned 80% of the time. I think that circuit is in chaos, and that circuit is, frankly, in turmoil. But we are appealing that, and we are going further. We're issuing a new executive action next week that will comprehensively protect our country. So we'll be going along the one path and hopefully winning that. At the same time, we will be issuing a new and very comprehensive order to protect our people. And that'll be done sometime next week, toward the beginning or middle at the latest part. We've ordered the Department of Homeland Security and Justice to coordinate on a plan to destroy criminal cartels coming into the United States with drugs. We're becoming a drug-infested nation. Drugs are becoming cheaper than candy bars, and we're not going to let it happen any longer. As you know, our administration inherited many problems across government and across the economy. To be honest, I inherited a mess. It's a mess. At home and abroad, a mess. Jobs are pouring out of the country. You see what's going on with all of the companies leaving our country, going to Mexico and other places. Low pay, low wages, mass instability overseas, no matter where you look. The Middle East, a disaster. North Korea, we'll take care of it, folks. We're going to take care of it all. I just want to let you know. As you know, our administration inherited many problems across government and across the economy. To be honest, I inherited a mess. It's a mess. At home and abroad, a mess. Jobs are pouring out of the country. You see what's going on with all of the companies leaving our country, going to Mexico and other places. Low pay, low wages, mass instability overseas, no matter where you look. The Middle East, a disaster. North Korea, we'll take care of it, folks. We're going to take care of it all. I just want to let you know.